If you had $10,000 right now to give away, what would you do with it? I asked a few friends this question, and here's what they said. I also asked my 11-year-old son this question, and he said, I don't know how far $10,000 would go there, but that's one option. What would you do with it? For half of my work life, I am a contracted bookkeeper, and in that work, I frequently have honest conversations with people about money. And one thing I can tell you is we've all got strong feelings about money. Many of us worry about having not enough money, and many people feel guilty and anxious about how they manage money, and so it can feel vulnerable to talk about it. The other half of my work life is lived as a pastor, and in that work, I also meet with people. But instead of talking about the state of their finances, we'll often talk about the state of their soul. And by soul, I mean a person's entire being, the deep parts of us that are often hard to articulate, but usually include some combination of how we're doing spiritually, relationally, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And here's what I can tell you. Many of us aren't doing great when it comes to our souls. We're feeling lonely and isolated. We struggle to find meaning and purpose. We feel blah about our work and hopeless about our relationships that are strained. And for a long time, I considered these two halves of my work life to be pretty independent. But I've discovered an interesting connection. When we give some of our money away, it is good for our souls, and it's good for the world. Now, it may seem obvious that giving some money away is good for our world. If you were to give some money to a single parent who's struggling financially, it would be good for that parent, and it would be good for their kids. It would have a real, tangible impact on their lives. But what may not be as obvious is that giving money away is also really good for the person who gives. Researchers who study the effects of giving consistently find that people who give some of their money away are happier. They experience fewer symptoms of depression. They report higher job satisfaction. And in some cases, people who've given their money away even reported having decreased levels of physical pain in their bodies. The best part is, when people give some of their money away and recognize the positive effects, they're more likely to continue giving money away. And when that's the case, the positive effects seem to compound. This means that giving away money one time is good for your soul, and the habit of giving is even better. As a pastor, I can tell you that giving away some of your money is good for your soul because it connects us to something bigger than us. And that connection to something bigger sharpens our sense of meaning and purpose, which is what our souls crave. And as a bookkeeper, I can tell you that it can even have a positive effect on your financial life. Because when you choose to give 5% or 10% or more of your money away, then it provides proof that you actually still can live well on 90 or 95% of what you make. And that proof loosens the grip of consumerism, which tells us that we don't have enough or that we need to buy things in order to feel happy or secure. Now, you might be thinking, okay, giving away money might be a good idea, but I don't have extra money, and I feel like I should hold on to the money I have in case I need it. I have this clear memory of being 12 years old, and I really wanted this pair of designer jeans. They were black and acid washed, and they had these cool zippers on the bottom. And they were $60, which was a lot of money for jeans at that time. And I remember walking into the kitchen one morning, and my mom was writing out a check for $60. But it was made out to our church, an organization that was important to her. And I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I was livid, like full of preteen outrage. I mean, how could she be giving $60 away when she could have used that money to buy these jeans? I would have looked really good in those jeans. So let's name the underlying challenge. There are so many forces working against giving. And so I have a challenge for you tonight. We are here at a TEDx event, and TED and TEDx events often talk about discoveries based on research trials. But I want to flip the script on you. I want you to run your own TED trial. I want you to experiment with giving money away and then analyze the impact that it has on your soul. Hopefully, you've already been thinking about where you would give some money, and here are a couple ideas also to get you going. Experiment with giving some money away spontaneously. Buy coffee for the person behind you in the drive-thru line. Have you done that lately? It's such a rush. Buy lukewarm lemonade from the neighborhood kids and leave a big tip. This type of giving connects us, reminds us that we have the power to impact the day of a stranger, and it can help us feel less isolated because it creates a human connection in that moment. You might want to try giving some money away locally. Grab a bag of groceries for a neighbor who is struggling, or if you are passionate about supporting teachers, deliver gift cards to your neighborhood school for classroom supplies. Maybe you want to support an organization that's doing important work in your community. In our household, this is the largest amount of our giving because we feel strongly about investing where we are, and it's really strengthened our sense of connection to our community. Finally, try giving some money across the globe. This type of giving connects us with people that we might never meet. It's an acknowledgement of our common humanity. For us, this goes to sponsoring a couple of kids in Central Africa who are about the same ages as my kids. Because as much as I care about my own kids flourishing and thriving, I know that those kids also want to flourish, and we can play a small part in that. Maybe you're interested in donating towards disaster relief, or towards peacemaking efforts, or towards medical care for countries that need it. I hope you'll take my TED Research Challenge. Decide tonight to give some money away and what you're going to do with it. And then after you give that money away, take a moment to notice what it does to your soul. How does it impact your sense of connection to others? How does it impact your sense of meaning and purpose? What does it do to your financial life, and how does it make you feel? Giving away some of your money is good for your soul, and it has the power to transform our world as it impacts the lives of the people who receive it. And the best part is, each one of us can do it. So do it. Give some of your money away. It will change you, and it will change our world. Thank you.